Why, hello, son. This side of my face is somewhat blown out. Enmeshment fucking sucks. It's funny to go from hello, son to enmeshment fucking sucks, but it does. And we are here to talk about enmeshment on a family level. Which it's interesting because, like, when you look at enmeshment, I'm pretty sure that it really starts from the family. I mean, you can experience it individually, in just, like, individual relationships and everything. But, yeah, we're here to talk about enmeshment, and I want to talk about the energetic signature of an enmeshed family. I've made other videos on the energetic signature of, like, a codependent, for instance. And I've made a video, at least one other video, about the energetic signature of something else. I cannot remember it off the top of my head right now. But I thought it would be cool to, like, look at an enmeshed family and, think about the energetic signature of an enmeshed family. For those that have experienced enmeshment, like I said, right after I commented on the sun and its rays, I said enmeshment fucking sucks, and it does. One of the ways that enmeshment sucks the most is it actually sucks a person back in. It's not just that it fucking sucks, like it's an awful fucking experience, but it sucks a person back in. And enmeshment is basically false intimacy, right? Enmeshment is that feeling of a person needing to know everything about another person. But that, first and foremost, in and of itself, is unhealthy, right? Because the opposite of that would be healthy boundaries. And the other way around, which is enmeshment, voids healthy boundaries and leads to just unhealth and toxicity, right? But enmeshment, right? Let's look at it as a collective, as a whole, as a family system, right? A fucking glob, right? So we're going to look at the word of homeostasis, right? The maintenance of a whole, right? Let me just say that when looking at the energetic signature of an enmeshed family, you're considering the collective. But what's interesting is that, think about it this way. When you look at society, right, you would consider a collective, right? A system, right? When you look at a family, you also consider a collective, right? And because it is that way, it attracts based on that, right? An enmeshed family is a family without healthy boundaries. A family with permeable boundaries where everyone needs to know each other's business, right? Because that is safe. They learned safety in that way, right? And so there's very much a theme of I can only be okay if you're okay. And if you're not okay, then I can't be okay, right? The more I heal, the more fucked up I see that. And so the way that an enmeshed family operates is literally just enmeshed, right? If I were to have my other hand here, my fingers would be meshed together, right? There is no individual, there's usually there's bound to be like a black sheep who kind of gets really fucking tired of it and wakes up and is like, I want to be a fucking individual. Fuck all of you, right? That usually ends up happening after a while. But sometimes it doesn't, right? Basically, what an enmeshed family attracts attracts like. More people of the same shit, right? And it ends up getting very unhealthy. So the enmeshed family is this blob. It's this glob, right? So consider it this way. A member of the family, right, in a healthy family system would look like this. One individual person, right? In an enmeshed family, the way that things work is that the entire family is one, right? So instead of this being one person, this is the entire fucking family. And this is one member of the family, this is another member of the family, this is another member of the family, and so on and so forth. And then maybe you've even got the back of the hand, the palm of the hand, however many members of the family. So it's homeostasis of a fucking blob, right? And the boundaries are, loose, permeable, this, that, and the other. Everyone's business is everyone's business. There is forced, I'm not even going to call it intimacy. I mean, I will for this sake. There's forced intimacy, which is what those people identify as safe, right? So what does an enmeshed family attract, right? Because it creates an energetic signature. Well, it attracts other people that have no or loose or permeable boundaries. Well, loose and permeable are basically the same thing. To create more of the same theme in that family system, right? So people that don't have healthy boundaries, right, they usually do way too much for other people. They don't know where they don't know healthy limits. They don't know where they begin and where they end. They don't know when to stop doing what for somebody, right? And so they usually overextend and they fucking exhaust themselves, and through that process of exhausting the self, something that can lead to a really unhealthy way of living starts to form. Especially when at any point no boundaries are set. And that is resentment. Yes, enmeshment fucking sucks. It really does. And so does resentment. Resentment usually stems from agreeing to do something out of feelings of obligation, and then hating the fact that you ever committed to doing it to begin with, because you only did it because if you didn't do it, the other person or other people would have felt not happy with you, right? And, usually in systems of enmeshment, codependence and people pleasers are birthed, right? And so codependence and people pleasers are literally that I can only be okay if you're okay. I'm not okay if you're not okay. If you're not okay, I have to do something. It's literally my responsibility to do something to make you feel okay. And so they then agree to doing things, and because they didn't actually want to do things, they just felt obligated to do so. Holy shit. Enmeshed families, no obligation. K-N-O-W, not N-O. They K-N-O-W, no obligation. They know guilt. They know shame. They know, they don't know that's your shit, not mine. And if they were to express that, shit would hit the fucking fan and go all over the place, right? The energetic signature of an enmeshed family is you're going to be attracted to us because you are the same as us, and safety is, permeable boundaries to us. We all know each other's shit. We all control each other's behaviors. We all make sure that there's so much control here, and that this false sense of safety is, you have to tell us exactly what it is that you're doing before you do it, and we have to validate whether or not you're going to do it. And so therefore, as we do that, we're going to limit the fuck out of you, but you're going to give into it because that's all you've ever fucking known. And the more that happens, the more it's going to create this bond of bullshit between everyone, right? And that's where the resentment grows, right? Enmeshed families limit, and I've made videos on this before, enmeshed families limit individual capabilities because of the pseudo-intimacy. Perfect word right there to use. Pseudo-intimacy, right? I used to believe that I knew what intimacy was until I realized that it's not that I don't know what it is now. It's just that, back earlier on, when I thought I knew what intimacy was, and then I just realized, enmeshment, right? It changed my idea of everything. To actually trust a person is a real fucking experience. To be enmeshed with a person is fucking pseudo bullshit. So the energetic signature of an enmeshed family, which is actually attractive for some people and really only those people who fit as a puzzle piece, that same fucking puzzle, they would look at that and they would see it as enticing because it's like, okay, I'm underdeveloped in many ways, probably emotionally as well. I don't really know what intimacy is, so this pseudo thing that you guys have going on, ugh, I'm gonna bite into that and I'm gonna be attracted to it and I'm just gonna contribute to it the same way. You don't respect my boundaries, I don't respect your boundaries. Shit, we hardly even have any. So we're going to glue together and we're all going to become this fucked up dysfunctional family system. One here, one here, one here, one here, one here. Ew, right? Instead of one fucking individual, right? A healthy family system is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. An enmeshed family system is like, ew, trust issues, pseudo intimacy. And that's how it works. And so the energetic signature of an enmeshed family is that of everything that I just said, and it attracts based on that, which like attracts like. That's how it works. Yeah, enmeshment fucking sucks. Pseudo intimacy fucking sucks. It sucks you back into it. It sucks because it's a fucking disgusting experience. It's just not fun. It really isn't. So, yeah. Enmeshment fucking sucks.